Christie, the turnovers, the offensive rebounding, you guys end up taking 17 less shots. Why do you feel like those were such problems for you guys in this game?
I don't have an answer for you of why. You don't give yourself a chance with 23 turnovers and, 17 shots that we don't have an opportunity to score on, and then giving up 10 offensive rebounds. So we just, got to get back and figure it out.
You went away from it to start the second half, and I'm curious what you thought of the starting lineup change and how it impacted the whole game.
Yeah, I don't think it impacted the whole game. That was a coach's decision, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay, there goes my next question. I was going to ask you what the thinking was behind making that change. You're not going to answer?
That was just a coach's decision, and that's where we're going to leave it.
All right.
Go Bob, and we'll go Matt here. Bob, to your left there.
Yeah, it seemed like there was like a few pockets in the game where, the players didn't really go to Aaliyah in the post. Obviously, she did have the turnovers in the first quarter that kind of limited her shots, but just kind of wondering what you kind of thought of that strategy, maybe if you want to get it to her more.
So your question is Aaliyah getting shots and talking about her turnovers? Is that what you're asking? I don't really understand what you're asking right there.
Yeah, like Aaliyah only had one shot in the first quarter. Obviously, she had a few turnovers that kind of accounted for that. There's other pockets in the game where she only took 4 shots.
Yeah, she only played like 20 minutes, right? She got into foul trouble early. Yeah, I mean, that's, we're trying to get the ball into her. I thought, Dolson did a pretty good job of really making it hard for her to try to get any touch. We had several turnovers trying to get the ball in a high-low situation for her. She's battling Dolson, and maybe our timing wasn't right on some of those passes, which was the reason maybe she picked up some of those fouls that she did. Yeah, I mean, we're always going to look to play inside out and get AB touches and get Liz touches, and that opens up the outside.
Go Zion, then Chloe.
What changes when you end up putting Katie Lou at that 4 spot with the wing, whether it's Lexi or whoever else? Just what changes for her when she shifts down and kind of plays taller?
Yeah, I think Katie Lou just stretches the defense with her shooting ability. You're able to have a lot of like pick and pop situations that can be beneficial for us, especially with the way teams guard Caitlin, and just gives us an opportunity to have an outside shooter, which is going to draw some defense out and then some high-low looks.
Go Chloe, then we go Kelsey.
Yeah, you had the high of beating Liberty and the low of this game. Just how you keep your team focused for the quick turnaround on Friday.
Yeah, 48 hours, got to get ready for a really hungry Phoenix team that's going to want to get us back from what they did on their home court. Yeah, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Come together tomorrow. We're going to practice. We're going to watch this video. We've got to figure out why the first 3 quarters looked the way they did, and then we were able to come out in the fourth quarter and hold them to 13 points and score 29 points. It's just something you've got to turn on from the beginning, and we just didn't do that. I've got to figure out what I can do better to help us start those quarters better.
Go Kelsey, then we'll go Andrew in the back.
You mentioned a little bit about the fourth quarters, back-to-back games with solid minutes. Just what was said during that third quarter timeout before the fourth quarter that kind of just sparked that comeback?
I just continue to encourage them to keep fighting, keep playing. We have the ability to put a lot of points on the board really fast, got to play fast, got to get, good looks, but take care of the ball. I thought we came out in the third and we held them to 5 points, I think, the first 5 minutes. And then once, I think they ended up with 20 in the second 5. And, that's where we have to do better and grow and be able to, as we're making that comeback, get those stops and not allow them to get on a run as well. And then had a whole different fourth quarter. It's, I really thought that third quarter with the 5 points, we were going to be in a really good position at the end of the fourth to go away with it. And but we just, we weren't able to get stops, put them at the free throw line, gave up way too many offensive rebounds.
Go Andrew in the back.
Christie, you all have had some comebacks this season. When you see the team just rallying around each other on the court, whether it's Caitlin, whoever it may be, what's that growth from a leadership standpoint of taking that ownership to never be out of these games? Yeah,
I think that's just like one of the biggest pieces for a young, inexperienced team is to get that chemistry, get that camaraderie, come together. When things get hard, because they will get hard. I mean, this is a great league. Every team is good, regardless of the their record. So when those hard times come, just having people come together and fighting through those hard times. And we continue to get better at that. I mean, we did it in the Phoenix game and, in the Vegas game, there were moments, and then against New York. So we have to figure out those moments and come together and be able to stop some of those runs that these teams are going on us. And, when the ball's not falling for us, not let it affect our defense.
Okay, last one on Zoom. George, want to go ahead?
George Boy from the Just Say Boy Sports Podcast. Coach, when you have a fourth quarter like that, is there anything positive you can take away going into the next game, or is it we're starting from scratch and we got to get ready for Phoenix no matter what happened?
No, I think you definitely can take something. It just shows who we can be. If you get a consistent quarter, you can have a bad quarter, but you can't have 3 bad quarters. And so, what they were capable of doing after giving up 26, 25, and 25, holding them to 13, I think we got great looks. We've just got to make sure we can't let, a 1 quarter, okay, we can manage that one, but not a second or a third.
Caitlin, this one got away from you guys pretty early. I'm in the front right here, sorry. This one got away from you guys pretty early, and it took till the fourth for you guys to get in gear. Why did you feel like you started so slow and couldn't get any traction till late?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. We definitely started slow, and that's kind of what killed us. Our fourth quarter was great, but you can't play 1 quarter of basketball and expect to win in this league. So, got to find a way to come out and have more energy. They really, punched us in the mouth. I thought they were really good. We struggled a little bit defensively. We struggled to take care of the ball. I think we had 8 turnovers in that first quarter. So, hard to win games like that, but we know we can be a lot better.
Matt.
Yeah, Caleb, with you being the point guard in this system, I guess, what did you think of the lineup change with Lexi replacing Nalissa?
Yeah, I just go with whatever coach puts in there. I trust my teammates, and I think no matter who's on the court, you got to compete as hard as you can every single second, and I think they do that. I think we all do that. I just think collectively we could have worked a little bit better together from a defensive schematical perspective of what we needed to execute. And that goes for everybody, whether you came off the bench or whether you were in the starting lineup. We just didn't really execute defensively or really offensively until we got into the fourth quarter.
Zion.
Caitlin, just to follow up on that, what do you feel like changes about your lineup, about your team on both ends when you put Lexi in there at the 3 and have Katie Lou at the 4?
Yeah, it gives you different looks. But even if we went with people on the bench, it still gives different looks. So, I don't think you can get too caught up in who's starting, who's not starting. That's just basketball. That's just what happens. It can change from game to game. I don't make those decisions, obviously. So, I'm the point guard. I'm just trying to put people in positions to be successful. And whatever coach goes with, then, that's perfect. And everybody on the team, responds to that.
Go down, back right.
Caitlin, 23 points off 23 turnovers for them. From your perspective, what was the biggest contributing factor to that today?
I think not being on the same page. I think there was a lot where they were very self-inflicted. Passing it to the other team or not being on the same page. And it's really hard to win basketball games when you have 23 turnovers, and especially when they lead to 23 points, and then also offensive rebounding. They had 13 points on their second chance points. We had 4. I think we gave up 10 boards and we got 2. So those 2 combined together, plus our not very great defense, makes it really tough. But like I said, you got to give us a little bit of credit. We really fought and we battled and we didn't give up. But in this league, that's still going to be really hard to overcome.
Third row on the right, then we'll go back corner on the left.
Caitlin, you mentioned the fourth quarter comeback. You were kind of in the center of that late. Was there anything that kind of clicked for you toward the end of the game, or was it just kind of a sense of urgency?
I think just play hard. I wasn't going to give up. I don't care if we're down, 20-plus points. I don't want to get beat by 40. Might as well do everything we can to make it close. And 10 minutes of basketball is a lot of time. And I think we cut it to 15 with 8:30 on the clock. That's a lot of time to, get something going for us. And I think we got it to 3, and it came down to a jump ball. And I probably could have grabbed it and boxed my girl out just a little bit better. So just comes down to a few things. But like I said, when you're down this much, you can't let it get to that point. That's where it's still really hard to win. You need everything to kind of fall in your favor to really be able to complete the comeback. And but yeah, I think just compete and play as hard as I can. I wasn't going to give up.
Back row on the left, then we'll go back up front to Chloe.
Hey, Caitlin, we were watching you evolve. We're watching your game evolve a little bit, and we're seeing you become more of a vocal leader to the team. I saw you grab the girls at about the 5-minute mark, and you pulled them all in. I think you mouthed to them like one stop. How do you feel right now in this current, I guess, state of the season, like as becoming like the emerging leader of the team? Do you feel that way?
I mean, I think as a point guard, you have to be vocal, like whether I want to or whether I don't want to. Like, there's no choice there. Like, if you're going to be the point guard, like, you have to be vocal for your team. They look to me to call a play every single dead ball. They look to me to call a play when the other team goes to the free throw line. But also, I want to motivate them and encourage them and be somebody that they can lean on. And I feel like that's something that I'm going to continue to still find my voice in. Like, obviously, I'm a rookie and still trying to kind of learn my way and learn my teammates at the same time. So, yeah, I think it's definitely an area I've improved in, and I'm going to continue to improve in.
Got the last two. Go Chloe, then Matt.
Yeah, you were 2-0 against the Mystics kind of coming into this game. Did they come in with a different kind of fire today?
No, I mean, I think they're a really good team. They play really hard. If I'm not mistaken, I think both of our games were close prior. That probably provides them quite a bit of confidence. And it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Like, that's just really hard to do, no matter what league you're in. Like, when you're matching up for the 3rd time in whatever it's been, a month and a half, like, it's hard to do. But at the same time, like, we didn't put ourselves in a position to be successful. But, you know, I thought they were really good. I thought Atkins was really good. Like, she made some tough shots. That shot she made to make it a 2-possession game there at the end was really impressive. Like, I thought we played great defense, and that's something you kind of got to live with.
Last one to go, Matt.
Yeah, it seemed like a really pivotal point in the game in the 3rd quarter with the Dolson challenge. Seemed like you were talking to the refs for, you know, a long time. Seemed like you disagreed with it. Kind of, what were you saying to them?
I mean, I don't know. I guess they saw something differently. Obviously, AB, like, it's tough when AB's in foul trouble for us. That stinks for her. Just couldn't really get her into a flow and get her on the floor much, just because, like, she played 20 minutes just because of her foul trouble. But I thought when she was in there, like, she was obviously pretty effective, like 3 for 4. But I think they went on a 10-0 run after that call was reversed, and it would have been an and one. So I think that just kind of shows our maturity. Like, we have to find a way to be able to move on from that. Like, yeah, we didn't get the call, but we need to stop right now, because I think at that point it was a 10 or 12 point game. Like, we weren't out of it by any means, and then we let it balloon to a 20-plus game. So I think it's, you know, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better. But I think there was a few moments in the game where it was like we just couldn't get it to go our way.
Yeah, they had beat you guys on the offensive glass. Turnovers were a problem. When you have that much of a possession deficit, how tough is that to overcome, and why do you feel like that was such a problem for you guys?
I mean, it's huge. You know, the fact that we fought the way we did is pretty incredible. Down 20 going into the 4th and came back and made it a game. We just, you know, we really didn't take care of what we needed to do in those first 3 quarters, so that's what hurt us going into the end of it.
Do you feel comfortable and reintegrated with that starting 5 now, and what did you think of the slight change to it today?
Yeah, I think, you know, this whole season we're trying to see what works. We're trying to fit in with each other. You know, all of us are ready for the moment to step up and be called on. And so as long as everyone has that mindset and everyone is ready to go, I think playing the way we did is more important than just like who starts it. It's how we start it as a unit.
Go Chloe, then Zion.
Yeah, you mentioned how you started it. I think you had team had 8 turnovers. The first quarter ended with 23. Just how did that set the tone for the game?
Yeah, I mean, I started off the game with 3 quick turnovers too myself, and I take pride in trying to not turn the ball over and be just be good with the ball. And so it just lost possessions right there, and that really was kind of the story of the whole game.
Katie Lou, how do your responsibilities change when you're going from playing the 3 to the 4?
I think the biggest thing is defensively, just knowing how to guard, what our schemes are, making sure I know all the plays at all the positions. I think for me, I'm trying to just be myself, but in each role that I'm put into, and step up in any way I can.
Got one on Zoom. Rob Tiongson, then we'll go back to the room here in the back to Andrew.
Thank you. My question for Katie Lou. There are a lot of young fans today from day camps getting to watch you play and making that comeback and nearly winning the game. What's it like to show them what teamwork is like out there, and being a young mother yourself getting to play in front of those kids?
Yeah, it's awesome. Anytime we can have, young fans, young kids watch our games. It's really awesome to, just be a group of women who can lead, and they can see us doing these amazing things. And so I'm really proud of how we fought in that fourth, and you could hear it with the crowd, you could hear it with the kids the whole entire game. They're loving it, they're enjoying it, and so that really helped fuel us in that fourth quarter.
Going back to Andrew now.
Katie Lou, just from going from the highest of highs, beating the Liberty, to now obviously falling to the Mystics, just what's the mindset within this locker room right now heading into a quick turnaround on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, take what we can from this game, learn from it, but like you said, it's a quick turnaround. This league is very good overall. There's only 12 teams, and so every single team is a good team. So, we should have started off better and should have taken care of what we needed to take care of, but we have another game on Friday. We have another chance. We can take everything we learned from here, things we learned from the last time we played Phoenix, and just be ready to go and be better.
All right. Thank you, Katie Lou.